My name is Lydia, and here's my colleague, Amado. Um, we're going to be representing all 7 colleges, and we want to talk about our role, and we're going to show you who the point of contacts are. We're going to go over how to connect with us before fall. I want to share with you that I'm also a first-gen student. I was born and I'm from Mexico City. And yeah, I'll pass it on to my colleague, Amado.
So hi there, everyone. My name's Amado, and I am an advisor for one of the colleges. I'm also first generation. I'm actually originally from the Bay Area as well. I'm from Oakland, so it made me happy seeing all the Bay Area folks on the chat. And I think that's it. Yeah, and I'm a UCSD alum, so I attended UCSD, graduated from Marshall College a bit ago now, but yeah, so just happy to be here with you all. So we'll go ahead and go on to the presentation portion of things.
Yeah, so happy to be here. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how am I going to navigate through UCSD, right? UCSD advising can be, you're wondering, well, it's overwhelming. There's offices here, there's offices there. Well, luckily you have an entire team to help you with advising at UCSD. So it's a decentralized advising system. So if you think about it, the college, we as advisors, we oversee the college GE requirements. So that will be your general education requirements and university requirements. Think of us as your main point of contact. If you are ever lost or wondering, I don't know where to go, I'm feeling overwhelmed, you can come and start with us. We're typically your first stop. And we can refer you to the appropriate office. So let's say you come in and you're wondering, hey, I don't know about my financial aid. What do I do? It serves us so that we can touch base with you, talk about things, and we're going to let you know, hey, the best point of contact is going to be the financial aid office, but here's their contact information, and this is who you can see. So a lot of the times we're going to refer you to the appropriate office. So just to remind you, right, to graduate, all of you have to complete your major requirements, your general education requirements, that we refer to them as GE, and university requirements. As mentioned earlier, if we don't know the answer, we're going to refer you to the best point of contact, which will be another office, because we have many offices across campus that specialize on certain things. So I wanted to remind you, so for your major department, right, your advisor in the major, there are specialists to help you plan specifically about your major and major requirements. They're also a good resource for alumni and research information. But I want to emphasize that the main structure of your academic planning is determined by your major, and the college will put the final puzzle together. And that is because a lot of the majors, you have to take courses during a specific quarter. GEs can be a little bit more flexible at times, not in everything, but it's easier for us to kind of just put the puzzle at the end. And some of the other offices that you might hear us refer you to, or you might hear about, are career services, academic internship program, the International Center for International Students, and like I mentioned earlier, financial aid. So now I'm gonna pass it to Amado so he can tell us a little bit more in depth of those differences.
Yeah, so just to kind of reiterate some of the information we just discussed. So let's go a little bit further in terms of how advising works at UCSD. So you'll often hear us refer to, when we're meeting with you and when we're talking to you, we'll refer to either major advisor or college advisor. Now, college advisors can help you with understanding and planning your GEs and the university requirements. Learn how to learn more about university policies and deadlines that we have at the institution. You know, things like when to add classes, when to drop, grading options, those sorts of deadlines. To help you make informed decisions about your academic situation before a deadline approaches. to connect you to a campus resource that can help you reach your goals, to clarify your long-term educational goals and interests, to explore majors and to help you find one, right? So if you're undeclared, you're not sure, maybe you're thinking about changing a major, you can always start with us and we can help you with that. And generally just to get things back on track. We understand that life happens. We just went through a whole year and a half of life happening, right? Things that we couldn't control, but we still had to manage. And so, more things like that can happen. And so when that is the situation, we want you to come talk to us. We want you to let us know that, what's going on, or just ask us for help so that we can help you figure out how to move forward here at the institution. Now, major advisors can help you with understanding and planning your major requirements, to learn more about different majors within a specific department, to help you understand department policies and procedures, to clarify questions about the prerequisites, to connect you to research, internship, TA opportunities, and to provide you information about graduate and professional school options that the department may be able to offer to you. Now, so each department has a different website, different ways or means of contacting them. So basically the easiest way to find their contact is you're gonna wanna search the particular department by just going to a UCSD website. So it's just ucsd.edu. And so let's say you're thinking about finding, I don't say biology or economics, you're just gonna search the department you're gonna look for the search bar and put in the information of the department, the name of it, and then it'll populate the website where you can then find our contact information. You can also reach them in the virtual advising center once the quarter has started. You'll be able to reach them as well. So once fall quarter begins, you'll be able to get in contact with them that way as well. But we want you to come and see us. It's important that you communicate with us so that we can help you in your journey here at UCSD. Now, we truly believe that we can help you be successful during your time at UCSD. But in order to do that, we need you to check in with us. So during the academic year, it is recommended that you meet with a college advisor at least 1 to 2 times per quarter in your first year. Each college is going to be accessible a little bit different. Therefore, keep an eye out for communication from your college on how to access us. College advising sends communication via the virtual advising center. And anytime a virtual or a VAC is created, it does generate an email letting you know that there's an important message for you to check. Therefore, check your UCSD email frequently. Okay. Now, the folks you see here on the screen are the reps for CASP of each of the different colleges. So these are the friendly faces for you all to keep an eye out on. So we have Arnell at Rebel, Carla at Muir, Emily at Marshall. We have myself at Warren, Lydia at ERC. Tracy is the rep at 6, and then lastly we have Stephanie at 7th. So again, these are probably the folks you'll be hearing from first, or some sort of communication from on just kind of trying to engage you and welcoming you and trying to get you to come in and see us during the fall quarter, right? So yeah, so these are the friendly faces.
Okay, so as Amado was mentioning to us, right, we have different reps, different CASP liaison. We're representing all 7 colleges. So you're probably getting a lot of, whether it's email, webinar information. So please make sure that you're reading that from your college because it's important information and you want to make sure that you're on track and following the deadlines. So in terms of getting ready for fall quarter enrollment, you're all going to be able to view your enrollment time on August 2nd. So at that time, you'll be able to see what day and what time you'll be able to enroll for classes. So very important, make sure you add that to your calendar, make sure you add an alarm because you don't want to miss your time. That's your chance to be able to secure your classes. Remember to enroll in a full-time status. Another important deadline is that you have to complete COMPAS by July 30th. If you can complete it before then, make sure you do that. mandatory for everybody, for all colleges, is to register for new student orientation. Make sure you've also have done that by July 30th. You're also going to be receiving your enrollment guidance from all of us. This is going to be on August 6th, so we're going to be able to give you some tips and some tools on how to enroll in courses. And the VAC is going to open on August 9th. This is where the virtual advising center, this is where you'll be able to send us messages, you know, for us, for your major department as well. And your new student enrollment begins on August 18th. So make sure, you know, that you keep an eye. And for those of you that have the chance to participate in the webinars, I can't express how much how we encourage you to participate in those, because that's what's going to help you get familiar and be able to give you some guidance to pick your courses. Okay, and now we can go ahead and move over to the Q&A questions. I know Luna had messaged one on the chat. When you have the chance, could you mention a little bit about applying to a CAP major? Yes, so very important, right? Always have a plan B, because getting into a CAP major, unfortunately, it's not a guarantee. You know, some departments use the lottery system. So even if you meet all the requirements and you have the grades, you know, the simple lottery system doesn't guarantee that you'll be there. So make sure that you have a plan B. So each major is going to vary on the requirements, but you have to be very vigilant and make sure that you complete all those requirements by the given timeline, because a lot of times they'll say, okay, after your second year or after whichever quarter, if you're not done and you haven't met requirements, you can't apply. So I would encourage you to start getting familiar with the programs that you want to apply to, and start connecting with the department. And, you know, and if you have general questions, we can certainly help you with that.
So another question that I saw in the chat, and then I've seen a couple, so I'm gathering some information, so I'll get some of the info to you all this one a little bit. But the other one that I saw in the chat, and then we'll also look at the Q&A stuff. Someone asked, you know, what are GEs? So GEs are your general education requirements, right? So it's a set of courses that you must complete for your college. Right, so it involves, for most of the colleges, well, all colleges will involve a set of writing courses, some sort of maybe math, or what we call formal skills courses, so math, stats. You're looking at maybe some science classes, and then the breadth requirements, right? And so those kind of vary per college and what that structure looks like. So there will be different tools that you can refer to that will give you the list of courses that you can, where you can pick from. Most, all of the colleges list their GEs on our website, right? So depending on what your college is, you just can type the name of the college.ucsd.edu. On there, under academics or under advising, you'll see that there's a section for general education. And that's where you'll be able to see what those requirements are, right? So again, they vary per college. There's different numbers for each of the colleges or what those look like. So it's important that you pay attention and that you search for particular ones for your college. But again, that's where we come in, right? This is where we can help you, especially as the school year starts, is what GEs do I take? What general education requirements do I take? If that's your question, that's where you come in and ask us, and we can kind of help you look at and plan that out.
Okay, so I'll take the next question from the Q&A box. I am attending a summer class from August to September. Will my credits be applied even before I finish classes, since registration starts in August? So SEI, I'm not familiar with that acronym. Do any of my colleagues know? Okay, so if you're attending a class at UCSD, your credits won't be applied before you finish your classes. You'll get awarded the credits once you finish the class and get awarded for a grade. However, if you're taking the class at UCSD, it should be able to auto-populate on your degree audit. You'll have to refresh it, but you'll be able to see if it's meeting any general education requirements or any major requirements, or if you're just getting elective credits. If you took this course at a community college, we won't be able to see that, right, until you send your transcripts over and UCSD admissions gives you credit for it. But at least you should be able to have, you know, some sort of a guidance. If you're thinking, hey, I'm taking this math, will this math suffice any of these requirements? So maybe, you know, give your college a question and ask them, I'm currently taking this course. I have a feeling it's going to meet this requirement, because you don't want to, you know, take the same course and then do a duplication of credit.
Yeah. So I've seen a couple of questions on here asking us about where you can complete. Well, the question said, where can I complete these things? So I'm imagining you're asking about either orientation or compass. So for both of those, you'll go to the website is cor.ucsd.edu. And actually, I'll show you. I'll share here my screen really quickly. This is based off of the Warren website. So again, but it's the same website for all. So you'll see here that for students who want to complete the college's orientation registration, you'll want to go to cor.ucsd.edu. And then for the Compass pre-orientation stuff as well, it's through that core website as well. So it's important that you do this again, because the deadline is coming up in a couple of days. So again, once again, cor.ucsd.edu.
Okay, so next question. So on August 2nd, we start picking our courses. Yes and no, not necessarily. On August 2nd, you'll be able to view the date and time where you'll be able to pick your courses. So during that day, it's going to say, okay, on August 16th at 5 p.m., you know, just giving an example, you're able to pick your courses. So make sure that you put your alarm clock for that day and time, right? So that you're able to pick your courses. It's very important. You don't want to miss it and miss that chance.
Let's see what else we got here. So kind of going with the Compass question. So what is it again? It's basically all the basic information you need to come into UCSD. So we do ask that you take it seriously and that you go through information. It is a lot of information. I'm not gonna lie, but it's important information. It's information that's going to prepare you for UCSD or things to look forward to, how the college system works, and it's each of them are again college specific. So try to go through it. You'll just go through all the different steps. Again, what we have to offer, and at the end of it, then you'll be able to kind of fulfill the rest of the requirements in terms of being able to you know, ask us questions or to register for classes. All of that, you do need to go through those steps to be able to get to that part. So yeah, it's just basically it provides more information in terms of what UCSD does.
Okay, I can take the next one. Do you believe that academic plan website is truly helpful in order to get an idea what to enroll in? Yes, absolutely. So you should be able to reference the 4-year, well, they're not called 4-year plans, but the academic plans, and it's going to show you on each major. It's going to have kind of like a picture showing you this is what you should be taking each year, kind of like a guide, and it's extremely helpful. However, you want to pair it up with your degree audit, right? Once we're able to see and articulate all of your transcripts, all of your APs, you're going to be able to compare it with your degree audit. The difference between the two is that your degree audit is personalized to you, to the AP courses you took, to what you're going to take, and the academic plan is more generalized. But yes, it's truly helpful, and you need those two tools to be able to know, what to enroll in. Obviously, we're here to help you, but right now, since we're limited in time and we're not able to help everyone personalized, we're handing you the tools, and it's going to vary by college when we're able to meet with each and one of you. But in the meantime, those two tools are extremely important.
I'm gonna try and get a couple of questions all in one here. So there's a couple of questions about AP scores, GEs, and then how to discuss those with us. So if you took your AP scores after the submission deadline, that's okay. Go ahead and just request from College Board to have the scores be sent in as soon as they're available. It's going to take a little longer to get those posted. So the issue you may run there is with those is just that depending on whether or not those scores fulfill a particular class, we just want to make sure you don't sign up for that class again. So each of the colleges has we have a link to an AP chart that tells you what, if you scored a particular score, so 3, 4, 5, depending on what those are, if it matches to a particular UCSD class. And so you just want to pay attention to that to make sure that maybe you don't duplicate a class, so make sure that you don't take it again if you already received credit for it through your AP score. So that's the only thing that you run a chance with. Now, so that's with the Gs, yeah, so that's what's going on. You can submit those later, and then that's how they would potentially fulfill Gs as well. The other thing that I would say is, so to be able to discuss GEs with us, again, most of the colleges aren't meeting with our students just yet. We won't be meeting with you all until the school year starts. Now, again, you will get more information in terms of enrollment and how those scores play a role in what courses you're going to be enrolling on. So, because enrollment has changed a little bit for our incoming students this year. So it's a little bit, it was also new for us as well. But the idea is that because we're not providing any recommendations this year, it's going to be a little bit more automatic. So all of those scores will be taken into account when giving you courses as well. So I hope I answered those questions there. Let's see here. Okay, and then I'll also answer if I met most of my GEs through AP tests. Should I focus on taking courses to satisfy major requirements? Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to want to start taking some of those major requirements as soon as possible. And typically each quarter, you're going to do a combination of both, right? So you're going to be doing, we typically recommend that you mix in a little bit of major with GE courses on there as well. Let's see what other questions we can get to here.
Okay, have the 3-4 year major requirements plans for this year have been released? Yes, you should be able to access those at plans.ucsd.edu. Okay, on August 2nd, the date we can pick our courses will be released. Yes, that's the date, but as mentioned earlier, will we have meetings with an advisor before, like one-on-one? As Amado mentioned, we won't be able to meet with you before that, but we're going to give you different tools. That's why it's important for you to attend the different webinars and be vigilant to all the information you'll be getting from us on your enrollment guidance, any communication, because you're going to be able to use those tools to be able to enroll. And certainly you can send us questions on the back.
Let's see here. So a couple of important questions I want to make sure we address. So sorry for the background noise. So if we get a, sorry, actually let me fix that real quick. So if you got an AP score that exempts you from a course, is there a benefit in taking that course at UCSD still? So we don't actually recommend that you do that. You won't get any units for the course. You don't get any credit at all. So no, even though you may get a good grade, it won't factor into your GPA. It won't give you any additional units. So you're doing extra work for no credit. So I think technically the system, there's a chance the system won't allow you, but I think it still allows you to. So we just don't recommend it. It's really not gonna do much for you in terms of your credits here with us at UCSD. Now, the other question a couple of that I wanted to address in terms of, so there's a question that says, do I have to take all my placement exams before being able to enroll in classes? Yeah, so some of them do have very specific placement exams that you must meet before you're able to take those classes. Those are particular with math, is probably the most important one. And then the ELWR requirement, just the English language writing requirement, where you'll have to meet those requirements before you're able to sign up for particular classes. I also don't want to completely skip over anybody else's questions. So let's see here. Okay, so I see a very specific AP credit course score. So let's see. Okay, so I'll answer that one on the chat right now specifically. But the thing for another question is for students who may be thinking about transferring, or for the person who's thinking about transferring, and how you know which courses those translate over. Our writing courses would be the writing requirements. And then again, most of our math, they require the basics, math, science, maybe a social science, humanities type courses. So you'll have to wait until the school year begins to kind of go more specific with that, where we can kind of guide you with that. But a lot of the work is actually done with the other institutions since you're interested in transferring to a different school. So in terms of how to know what classes you'll need to enroll in, again, you'll get a list of, you'll get more information in terms of what particular courses. For now, we also ask that you refer to, at the very least, to plans.ucsd.edu to kind of get a guide in terms of what your time looks like here. And it actually gives you the very specific major courses that you have to fulfill. Any GEs that we list very specifically, those are courses you must take. Anything that's left as general, just GE, are sections where you can choose from different course options that each of the colleges will have, where you can take from. But that guide serves as it's a good template to kind of at least refer to, at least for the moment, up until you get more information in terms of enrollment in a couple of days.
So we are at 11:03. So we could probably, we want to be respectful of everybody's time. So maybe we can answer a few more questions and then.
Let's see what, yeah. Do you want to take one of the other questions while I take one?
Yes, so let's see. We'll be receiving an email on August 2nd to view our enrollment time. I believe you have to log in on Triton Link and on WebReg to be able to see your enrollment time. Let's see. For AP, okay, I think Amado went over that. Do courses overlap between GEs from your college and major requirements? This is going to vary per college, so please be very careful. At least in ERC, if you are a double major, you're able to overlap some things. And in ERC, we have one requirement, one or two requirements that are able to be overlapped as a single major. The upper division writing requirement is one of them. So please be very careful with that and check in directly with your college. Okay, what are elective credits? So elective credits in terms of GE purposes are those that won't meet any major requirements or GE requirements. You're just taking them to either meet the 180 unit requirement or for ERC, the 60 upper division unit requirement. Or if you're just taking them for other purposes, if you want to be a full-time student and you're wondering, hey, what else can I take? Even though you've reached, you know, even though you won't necessarily need that course, you can take an elective credit. Okay, when will transcripts be validated? So if you sent in all of your transcripts by the July deadline, you should be hearing from, we should be able to see your transcripts in the middle of August. But if you didn't send it by the deadline, it's going to take a little longer. Okay, if we're not satisfied with our AP score, do we have to send the score to UCSD? Do we have to let them know? You know, we're not going to judge you on your AP score. And even if you're not satisfied, I'd recommend that you do, because what if you get some units for it, or what if it fulfills a requirement? You can look at the, I know at ERC we have an AP chart, and I'm sure the other colleges have one too, so you can kind of gauge and see where you stand. But I encourage you to send it, because it's not going to hinder, you know, your grade or anything. Okay, where can we check if our AP scores have been validated, received? Yes, you can check on your academic history on Triton Link. Probably a lot of them haven't been validated. Maybe some have. You can check if you want, like every day, but at least expect anytime from here till August, the middle of August.
Yeah, exactly. The idea is that they're supposed to be ready for when course enrollment begins. So I think, you know, in general, I saw a lot of questions in terms of, am I going to get more information on this? So yes, you oftentimes do get more information on all of these things. The theme of this, we would say, is it's very important that you stay on top of your UCSD email account. All of our communication from the institution will go through the UCSD email account. So if you're not using it right now, please make sure that you start using it, that you start checking it every day, that you look through all the emails. But yes, there are a lot of emails, and I understand that. But there is a lot of important information that goes through there. And so you want to make sure you don't miss any. And then lastly, even check the spam folder. Sometimes, occasionally, some of them will go through there, but most of them go to your regular inbox. So just double check your email, UCSD email account. Get in a habit of checking it every day, because that's where a lot of the official means of communication will go through. And that's where a lot of this important information will first be viewable. That's where links, all of that will arrive. So always check your UCSD email account. And then in terms of AP scores, do you report them, or do you report scores as missing if they're not received by a particular date? So always double check with, if they're AP scores, double check with College Board, make sure that you sent it to UC San Diego. Occasionally, not often, but occasionally we have students who mistakenly got them sent to the University of San Diego or San Diego State. And so we always say that that's kind of the first thing to double check, make sure that it went to the right institution. If you requested that to be sent to the right institution, then they should be, or to UCSD, then they should be posted soon. I know that we recently, admissions got a batch of scores rather recently, so they're working on getting those posted as soon as possible.
Okay, I've sent my AP scores to UCSD and barely received my new ones. Do I have to pay to send them again? Check directly, you know, to see where you sent them. That way you don't have to pay double again. Check directly with them. And if they require you to send them again, then you will have to, but hopefully the first time you did it should suffice. Okay, can I apply to multiple CAP majors? It can be a challenge. You can do that. However, keep in mind, if they have different prerequisites or different requirements, it may take you longer. So you kind of want to be able to strategize and not, take too many courses. And then if you end up not getting in, but if they have similar requirements, you certainly can.
Thank you so much, Lydia and Amado, and to all of the students. Your questions were very insightful. If you still have any questions, please know that we will go ahead, write them down somewhere, place them on our CASP 101 website. But I just want to let all of our students know that your summer interns have opened their Zoom rooms for your group activities. So please go ahead and make your way over there. If you are unsure